Hey everyone, welcome back to my Lego City, where I have a substantive update on my second passenger train station down over there. It has almost reached the point where I can call it done, quote unquote, done, for now. I've removed some of the debris from that area down there, not all of it yet, but enough to, I think, help to kind of place the train station, show you really where it is and how it looks in terms of its size and placement relative to other things in that section of the city. Most of the work that's been done since the last video on this thing was on this side of the station over here, and that's a fair ways away from the nearest edge where I can film from, so you're not going to be able to get the best view of the work that's been done there, but I'm okay with that. Some of it's kind of going to be hidden, especially once I get additional buildings in. Like I said, there will be at least one building down here. Quite likely two small ones though. So it's a fact of life that much of the work here just won't really be visible most of the time. I got an interior flooring pattern put in, which is not exactly what I wanted, but I did limit myself once again to parts on hand. I already made one bricklink order to complete fencing for this project, and I just decided that I did not want to do another bricklink order. I have so many pieces that it just continues to be ridiculous to always have to buy new parts for every single component, major component of every single new build. I'm trying to cut back on that, but it's very, very difficult when you have particular things in mind. So here I've just compromised and put in a floor pattern that makes sense for an original 70s design, but like I said, just isn't quite what I wanted. I absolutely needed to have some sort of diagonal element in there, and what I ended up with was something that's ultimately inspired by string and bead style door curtains, which were really a product of the 1960s most famously, but did survive over into the 70s. They made some evolutionary changes in their style where they lost a lot of the psychedelic colorfulness and playfulness and became more symbols of affluence, where they would have more faux diamonds. And of course it was all like just plain glass and plastic, but they would make things using more clear pieces, also more transparent yellow, and some transparent browns would come into there. So that's just kind of the sort of patterning that I went for here, and you really can't get a good look at it from this angle, unfortunately, with everything put in. I got a small little newsstand there, which actually has some a bunch of different publications, that are shown just to the minifig. I'll try to get you a better view of that from down low, but I do have a photo of that on Instagram. This random sculpture of a polar bear is a stand-in for another type of animal that I actually want to put in instead, but that's just related to something that's, again, very nostalgic to me, and that just draws into my memories from my childhood, as does most of what I've done with this station. And then I finally was able to use the benches for the bus stop over here that I made back when I was doing it. They were just prototypes for a possibility for a design back when I was doing my original train station, and ultimately the bus stop that's over there in that section over there. So this was just one of the ideas that I came up with, and I liked it and didn't want to get rid of it, didn't want to abandon it, so I kept the pieces around, but just haven't used them until now. I had an opportunity to use them now, and they are supposed to represent part of the the modernization that includes the machines, the ticket machines, and also the entry gates down there. So all that just kind of goes into the modern era of what you see here. And then got some people onto the platform. Some small details have been added and or changed. I did go with the 2-stud tiles rather than 3-stud or 3 long tiles on the sides of the benches there. I'm not going to change that back. This is what I want. So just like with everything, if you see a change, it's because that's what I wanted, and if I put it back, it'll be because I decided I didn't like it after all. But I've got to continue to go with what I like and what I want to see in these designs. Got a little bit of lighting down here at this end. There's also some lighting up underneath. Yeah, I guess you can just see it just a little bit from this angle. But let me see if I can bring you around here. It's a little bit tough. Yeah, you can kind of get in there and see just a little bit of the newsstand. So all different publications are shown there with no repetition except for the one that the guy is holding. He's just getting a little preview of it. Unfortunately, you can't see the facial expression on this person who is walking up to the attendance booth back there with the blue hoodie and the red trousers. It's actually an annoyed expression. It's one of the president business heads, actually. Have not the most angry expression, but kind of the annoyed looking one. Not amused because his ticket is not working. But yeah, I got the same standard style of emergency call phone there that I used on my original train station. So just another piece of modern standardization that should occur at any of these stations from this same system, because they would just use the same exact thing, and no point in using different ones. And they do want to have those fully modernized since they are related to safety. And that's about it. I do still, like I said, need to finish up the fencing around this side back here, and then there's just a gap here that needs to be filled in, and I've got that one bricklink order I allowed myself that's on the way. I need to put something right here. I did put something on the other side. I'm probably going to leave some of these brackets open that just give a little bit of texture on the other side. I'm not sure if you can really see that from here. They just stick out a little bit more visible from the other side. But eventually I might attach something there, but might just leave them because I actually kind of like the look of them. But this is pretty much it. I might do another update when I put in the last few little details, but might not, because I might have moved on to something else by then. But you know, train can come up nice and close. It's a half stud gap in there. This is not exactly where it's going to be. It's not fully lined up right now, but should have the exact same spacing as the main station. So there's plenty of room for the train to safely pull up here and allow people to board. You know, eventually I might do some boarding scenes or something. But yeah, that's about what I wanted. And of course I need to do a crossing over here, just a half a one. And this is going to work out. This is pretty much what I wanted. So I'm happy enough with it for now. Not permanently, like I said. It'll most likely change over time. But for now, last little things will go in and I'll be moving on to the next thing. I'm getting more excited right now for the zoo area and also the Planetary Defense Force base area. But by the time I get to that, I might have, you know, kind of had my attention taken away by something else. Whatever feels right, whatever I want to work on next is the direction I'll go. I always try to stay with the motivation, go with the motivation. That way creativity remains the main driving factor, and that way I'll always be doing things that I want to do just then. So this will never turn into just a labor. If it becomes a labor at all, it'll be a labor of love. And yeah, I'm definitely looking down at this area. A lot of stuff needs to be done with this. So this is pretty much going to be completely rebuilt, the zoo. But I have very good ideas, I think, for what to do with that and what to do with this stuff down here. So that's it. I went through that train station. I told you I was going to try to do that train station pretty quickly, and I think I did. So I'm happy with that, especially to be able to, you know, have another thing in my city that was on my list, that has been on my list, my to-do list for months now, if not more than a year, 2 years. No, actually, it's been there since I moved to this house. So that's been there for quite some time now. And I will keep you posted. And the next time I have an update to show you for anything major going on in this city, I will show you. So I appreciate in advance your patience before that. And I appreciate your support along the way. Bye for now.